Hi, in this tutorial I'm going to explain you how to create SQL view or also known as HANA database view. So whatever in the previous session we have seen how to create a catalog object sequence. So in this session we will see another catalog object which is a view. So now the view that I'm talking about over here, it's not a modeling object like attribute view, analytical view or calculation view. So the view which you're going to develop here is going to be used as a view. Basically we create view to perform join between two or three tables, and then we use that view in a select condition to retrieve some information. So in such a way I'm going to create a database view over here, which is a SQL view, and we will see how to perform a SQL view. So you might be familiar with different types of views in ABAP already, like database view, maintenance view and so on. So that is exactly something that we are going to do over here now. So if you think deeply about this view, it is basically nothing but a set of select statement which runs internally, which is going to select data from certain set of tables, right? So now what we will be doing is we will be constructing a view. So for first I'm going to construct a view just like a database view. It's like or we call it as a or like a projection view. I will just take two or three fields from a table, and then I will just only display those information via the table, sorry, via the view. So now I have actually filtered for EPM model. Okay, so I'm just expanding the table section, table node. Okay, so we have only one table over here. So what I will do is I will go and open the S flight schema, within which we have several content. So I'm going to use this S flight schema. So here you can actually see a certain set of tables which are available. So I'm selecting this S flight table, right clicking on it and saying data preview, and this is going to show me what are the contents that are there in the table. So now what I wanted is I wanted to write a select statement. So I'm going to take the select syntax from here. So I'm going to right click on the table, say generate and select statement. This is going to give me a sample select statement which I'm going to use for the purpose of creating the view. So I'll go back to the project explorer, and in the previous exercise which we have created, I'm going to create one more type of file which is going to represent the SQL view. So the extension for the file would be .hdb view. So I'm just giving the name as exview1.hdb view. So this is the format which I'm going to give for this. Which this is the name I'm going to give, exview1, and here I have to give certain information to the view, like in which schema this view should be created, because this is a catalog object and all our catalog object are contained inside a base schema. So I need to tell the system that in which schema I need to put this system. So we have already created a schema which is called as a C5195137 underscore exercise. So I'm going to create this view in that particular schema. Then you have a parameter called as a query, to which you will give the actual select condition. So I'm just giving a double quotes, and I'm going to copy this select condition whichever we have given. So I'm going to give display only certain information such as the car ID, con ID, flight date, price, currency, seat max and seats occupied. So I'm going to give only this information, and I'm going to give the remaining information. So this is basically like a select condition, basically like a projection view wherein we are going to take only certain columns and we are going to display only those particular columns, right? So now this is basically I have given the select statement over here, which has to be executed in such a manner. Now the thing that you have to note over here is we are already passing it inside the double quotes. So system will take this double quotes and this double quotes as an end, and from then on it will treat it as an error. So basically I will have to give an escape character. So we will escape this double quotes using an operator called as a slash. Using the backslash, we will escape the characters. So now when I'm going to put the slash in front of this double quotes, then system is not going to consider this double quote at all. So likewise, we need to use the special character to skip all the codes. So you need to give it only to the codes that has to be escaped. So I have given the escape character to escape the double quotes from system, interpreting that so that internally it can form that select statement which I wanted to execute. Now we will save and activate our file. So the moment the file gets activated, it is going to create the catalog object view in my schema. So the view has been activated and committed. Now you can go to the systems and we can have a look into the schema. So C5195137 is the schema which I wanted to filter. So if you see the schema, now in the view section, you can actually see the view that we have created will be displayed over here. That is in the project exercise 3, we have created a view AX view 1. So now if I double click on this, it is going to give me the information about the view that has been created. That is the definition part. So the view contains only this information. Now if I'm going to give a data preview something, then it is going to display me only those particular columns which has been part of a view. So this is just a simple view which I have created as a database view. Just I am going to give only a certain part of the fields, certain fields of the table. Now you can also create a view with which we can perform the join. So that is basically going to be a join condition which you are going to write inside the view file, and that is going to execute those join condition whenever it is going to be needed. So you can just use this as a in place of the table name while you are writing the select statement, so that instead of writing a join over and over again, you create a join at one place and then you reuse it at several places. So now we will have a look at how we are going to we will create one more view in which I will be using the join conditions. So I'll close this view. Now in the exercise 3 folder, I'm going to create one more catalog object, which is again going to be a view. I'm going to name it as ex view 2.hdb view. So the first parameter that we need to give is we need to give the schema. Schema is equal to, sorry, so in which schema I wanted to create this view. So I wanted to create this view in this particular schema, and the query I wanted is I wanted to write the query from two tables now, performing the outer join. So we already have a select statement for one table which I'm inserting over here. I will just ignore some of the fields. So all these fields I'm going to take it from the first table. Then I'm going to take further more information from some other tables. Let's say I will open this schema again. We have a booking table, so I'm just going to generate a select statement for that. So from this booking table, I'm just going to take some of the fields like book ID and custom ID. So I have taken only two fields from this particular table and I have ignored the other things. Now actually we have obtained the list of fields that I wanted. Then I need the table to be specified as well. Okay, I'll put it this way. So now I have taken first 5 fields from the table 1 and the next 2 fields from table 2. So I'm going to say that select these fields from, so first table is going to be sFlight dot sFlight, and I'm going to give a shorter name for this one as T0 left outer join along with this second table. So basically whatever I'm doing over here, it's nothing but I'm just giving the simple name of the table. So I'm just giving the name of the table on in which field I wanted to. So this left outer join table, this table I'm going to name it as T1. So on which condition I wanted to match it? I wanted to match it with T0 dot char ID is equal to T1 dot char ID. So this is basically the select statement which I wanted to execute. Now here, while you execute this type of statement, you will have to put the escape characters over here. So I have given the escape characters over here and I will give it here as well. Now whenever I'm going to have more than one table in the view, then I will have to give one more parameter. Say for example, if I'm going to create a view on top of the view and a combination of tables, I have to use a parameter depends on view. If I'm going to use tables alone, then I have to use this parameter depends on table. So I basically have to tell the system that what are the tables or what are the views that are involved in it. If I'm going to use a combination of views and table, then I will just have to say depends on. So this parameter we will have to specify, and this parameter will take the value as an array within which I will have to give the information on the table. So I have given the tables over here and now I am trying to activate the view. So ideally it should give us some error. I am expecting an error to be displayed over here. I will tell you why. Yeah. So it is saying that it is not expecting this type of syntax. That is because the table name here I tried to bypass this skips. So I will remove that. And still we should be getting some errors. Yeah, so this is the error which I'm expecting, which tells that this one cannot be paused. That is basically because the table name that you are seeing here, it's not the actual table name, instead it's the alias. Now if you go back and if you see this thing, the view that we have created earlier, sorry, if you go and have a look at the table that we have created earlier in one of our schema, C5195137. So when you see the table name which has been displayed over here, you will have the complete information like what is the repository package. In that repository package, what is the folder which is containing the file. So here our repository package would be exercise 3. Inside that, the file that is holding the table would be demo underscore table. So our view name would be ideally created as, sorry, the table name would be ideally created as exercise 3, that is a repository package. Inside that, if I am placing it in any folder, no, I am not placing it in the folder. Instead, I have the file directly in that particular exercise 3 repository package. So now the file name will be separated by a double colon and it will be having the name as demo underscore table. So now this will be the actual name of the table if you see here. So you can see that the table name is exercise 3 colon colon demo underscore table. So till you find the file location, it will be dot. Suppose if I have given like exercise 3 dot data, if I have a folder data and if I have created this file inside that, then it would be like exercise 3 dot data. Then till the file is been identified, the file name will be pointed out with this double um, colons. Now, since this folder is not there, it was directly created like this, which is fine. But this is the actual name of the table. Now, those tables which has been delivered by SAP, they also should have been having a root port like this, which is like a repository package in which folder, in which file this actual .hdb table file was located. So that is something that I need to pass on to this depends on section, and since we do not know that name, system will not accept that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to override the select condition with another set of condition which I have given. So earlier we have created this table demo underscore table, and this table, let us see what is the content which is there in this table. Generate select statement, and I execute this select statement, and it is giving me 2 rows of information which we have inserted already. So what I will do is I will go and create one more table as such, and we will put some contents inside the table. Then we will perform a join between this table because we know the actual name of the table over here, and we will be able to perform that. So this is the code that we have used for creating the table. So I'm going to use the same set of code to create another table. So I'm going to name this one as demo underscore table 1 dot hdb table. So I'm just going to rename this fields information. So column 1 2 3 4 was what we have developed earlier. So I'm just going to give it as column 6 7 8. So to match, I'm just having this key field information same as column 1 here and column 2 over there as well. And this parameter, I'm going to give only one table column. So I will activate this, which will create the table in the DB. Now going back to the system's perspective, if we refresh this, so now you should be able to see a couple of tables over here, one which was created in one of the previous exercise, and this is something that I have created now. So what I will do is I will go here, and from the data preview I will take this second column alone, sorry, second information alone, and I will insert a record for this in this particular table. So I'm generating an insert statement to add the value. So I have given this value, and this information I will give something which is not equal to that. So I will give something else over here. I'm giving 12 ABC 20, and I will execute this one, and here you can see that the row has been inserted successfully. So you can see that the one row has been inserted over here. Now I'm going to take the first 4 columns from the table 1 and the remaining 3 columns from the table 2, and I'm going to create a view. So I'll go back here and I will write the select query as query is equal to select. I'm going to take this. So I will take column 1, column 2, column 3 and 4 from the first table, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 from the second table. So I'm going to have the table name as from. This is going to be the table name of the second table. So the first table name would be exercise 3 colon demo underscore table, which I'm going to so whose name would be like, yeah, it will start from the schema name, then the table name would be provided. So this first table I'm going to name it as T0. I'm going to perform left outer join, which means all the record from the left hand side table will be considered along with this table, which I'm going to name it as T1. On what condition? I'm going to add it by, in the table 0 I should check column 1 with that of column 1 in table 2. Right. So I have just written a simple select condition over here, and we will put an escape characters to escape this. Now I need to tell which field is coming from which table. So first we will put the escape characters, then we will specify that. So I'm going to say this field is coming from table 0, this is coming from table 0, this is also from table 0. So I'm just giving the field separator table 0 dot this particular field. So these are coming from table 1. So I have told the system that this is the select condition with which I'm going to create the view, and I have given the table name, one as T0 and another one as T1, and I have given the join condition. Now I'm going to give this depend on table parameter as an array, within which I'm going to pass the exact table name. Okay, so I'll just give the exact table name, comma this. So this will be one table, and underscore 1 will be the another table. So the changes has been saved, and Now we will go ahead and activate the application, activate the database object. Syntax error, missing semicolon. Okay, so the view has been activated now. Now if you go ahead and refresh the views, we should be able to find a couple of views over here. And now you can right click on this and generate the data preview. Now this will collectively display the information from two fields. Since we have performed left outer join, only for the second record we have the values from the second table, whereas for the first record we do not have. That is why it has given the question mark information over here. So instead of left outer join, if you have only performed left join, then only one record would have been displayed which has entry in both these things, right? So this is basically how we are going to create a simple SQL view. Then in the following session we will also see how to create the other type of view, which are the modeling objects such as attribute view, analytical view and calculation view later on. Next we will see how to add some content into the database table via file based architecture. See you in the next tutorial. Thank you.